Hello everyone, this is Noah, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about striking surfaces and targeting. When we teach beginners how to strike, whether it's throwing a punch, throwing a kick, we generally teach them the body mechanics of how to deliver the strike, but we don't always go over when to use the strike, what targets we should be looking at for those strikes. And that may be simply because we're taking it for granted as instructors that, oh, well, I know where I would hit, but a lot of the time beginners don't. And I've seen a lot of questions come up as far as why someone would use a certain strike at a certain target instead of a different strike. This is something that's pretty easily explained. If we look at the old methods of karate and Chinese martial arts that can actually be found written down in documents like the Kenpo Gokui, which is a list of concepts found in Chinese martial arts and brought over to Okinawa. In that list, there is a concept where you apply hard against soft and soft against hard. This can be interpreted in a variety of ways, but if we're looking at it from a striking perspective, it makes a lot of sense in that if I'm striking a hard surface, for example the head, I would not benefit greatly from striking it with a hard striking surface. If I'm punching and using the bony knuckles of my hand and I hit someone in the head, unless my hand is conditioned to take that type of impact, I could injure myself. On the other hand, if I'm striking to the body, for example, a palm strike is not going to be the most effective choice because the impact is dispersed over a wider area, and there's just a lot more cushioning in general when you hit a softer target with a softer striking surface. Now, just like the case of the head, if my hand is conditioned enough, I may very well be able to hit someone in the head, no problem. If I'm hitting someone in the body with a soft striking surface, if I have the power, I may be able to hit them hard enough to get the desired effect anyway. But to maximize our strikes, we need to tailor our striking to the targets. So if I'm striking a hard surface, it makes more sense to strike with a soft surface because I'm less likely to injure myself and I can still deliver power. On the other hand, if I'm striking a softer target, it makes sense to use a harder striking surface because I can deliver more force to a softer area and potentially do more damage. This is something that isn't secret, it's not hidden, but sometimes it can be glossed over and forgotten.